everyone, my name is Donovan, and today I'm excited to share with you two brand new watches from Garmin. On my left hand side I have the Garmin Vivoactive 4, and on the right I have the Garmin Vivoactive 4S. Now these are two watches that I've been really excited to get my hands on, and I was finally able to thanks to the folks over at playbetter.com. So you can pick up these watches from Garmin and a ton of other watches from Garmin, as well as golf accessories, outdoor cycling, and fitness accessories like the watches that you see here. And they have not only 2-day shipping, but they also have a 60-day return policy. So definitely check them out in the links down below. They do also sell all their products on Amazon as well. So I'll leave a link down to their Amazon store as well. Now, first of all, let's talk about the prices of these two watches. So these both come in at $349. So it doesn't really matter which version of the watch you get. It's going to be $349 regardless. So really it comes down to, if you're thinking about picking up one of these and you're trying to decide between the two, the question is, which do you prefer in terms of size? Because outside of that, the only difference is this one has a slightly bigger battery because of the watch face actually being bigger. They can fit in a larger battery, so it does get a little bit better battery life, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit. But that's really the only difference between these two watches. Outside of that, the software, everything else, hardware inside is all the same. So you can see the backing. Now, I will say the 4S is available in a few more colors. They have the black here, they have the white with gold trim, they also have a pink band as well, and a few other colors that aren't available here on the Garmin Vivoactive 4, at least at the moment. So right now only the black and I think grayish, I think it's called silver, but it looks kind of gray to me. Those are the two colors of the Vivoactive 4 that are available at the moment. Other difference being the watch band size. So this one has 22mm bands, whereas this one has 18mm bands, and they're both completely removable, as you can see, so you can swap them out for something different if you prefer. So that being said, outside of that, these are pretty much identical watches. Now I want to go ahead and show you some of the features, so we're going to flip it over to the back, and we're going to start off with the Vivoactive 4. So you can see that they say 8 days on smartwatch mode. Now, just to be clear, today's actually my first full 24 hours of using this watch, and you can see I'm at 69%. I went for a 4-mile run this morning. I think that burned through like 9% while I was listening to music. So it was about a half an hour of running, listening to music, and that went through 9%. The rest of the day it's been going through about 20% over the rest of the day. 8 days is definitely if you're not really using the GPS or music part of it. You can see if you're using GPS and music mode, you're getting 6 hours of battery life. So, you know, if you're going for a super long run, you're probably going to have to charge it that same day. But typically, you'll easily get 2 to 3 days of battery life would be my expectation. Now, obviously, we have to test that out. I already mentioned the size, 45mm as far as the watch face, 22mm bandwidth, 5 atmospheres water resistance. Now, something that's interesting about this watch is the fact that it does include pulse ox. So all the new Garmin watches are coming with pulse ox, which ironically wasn't available on this watch right here. So this is my Garmin Fenix 5 Plus. I paid $550, which is actually like $200 off for the watch. This one does not come with that. It comes with a number of other things that this watch doesn't have, but it doesn't come with pulse ox. So if you're not familiar with pulse ox, basically it's letting you know how well your body is acclimating to altitude. So if that's something that you are interested in, this is it's available on the Vivoactive 4. It is also available on this one here. This is the Garmin Forerunner 245 Music, which is, I think, a little bit more similar in size to the Vivoactive 4S. So just as a quick comparison, here are a few of my Garmin watches. So here's the 4S. This is the 245 Music, and I would say right now that's probably one of my favorites, and that's also available from playbetter.com. Here is the 4, and then here's the Fenix 5 Plus. So this one's definitely a lot heavier, a lot more bulky, but it has a few more features that you can't get on these other watches. So here it is next to the 245 Music. So the 45mm version is definitely bigger than my 245 Music, but let's go ahead and set that off to the side. And definitely one thing that sets the Vivoactive 4 apart from something like the 245 Music, which is very runner-centric. This one, I think, appeals more to the masses, maybe to the more average runner because of some of the other things it has, like Garmin Pay. But let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. So we do have a body battery, respiration, stress, and we'll take a look at those in a little bit. Wrist-based heart rate, which, by the way, Garmin makes some of the best wrist-based heart rate monitors because I've found them to be very accurate regardless of which watch I'm using. Their heart rate monitors tend to be always the best in my opinion. We have music on board, so you can use like Spotify, Amazon Music, also Deezer. Those are all available, and of course you can just transfer music from your computer over to the watch as long as you have an MP3. We have on-screen workouts, Garmin Pay, like I mentioned, safety and tracking features. So one of the things that Garmin has included in their newer software is if you hold, in this case with the Vivoactive 4 or 4S, if you hold this down, it will contact an emergency contact for you. So that's really cool. So if something happens, hopefully you're able to think about it and touch this, hold it down, and it will automatically contact your emergency contact for you that you set up in the Garmin Connect app. So I'm not going to go through that right now, but mainly what I wanted to do in this video is just kind of compare these two watches. We're going to do a full review, also do a full software walkthrough of these two watches here in another video. But one of the things I want to mention here are just the difference here. So you can see 8 days versus 7 days over here, 6 hours on GPS and music mode, and then 5 hours over here, and then of course the difference in the size that I mentioned earlier. But outside of that, everything else is identical. Now they do mention also those 20 built-in sport apps, so I want to go ahead and show you what those are real quick. So basically just up here, that's a quick setting to go into our different workouts. So you can set up your favorites. So I put run, treadmill, bike, and walk here. Pool, swim, and navigate. So those are the 6 I chose to be kind of like the quick shortcuts because those are the ones I'm going to use the most. But then also, whoops, I accidentally hit navigation. We want to go all the way down here to those little, I don't know, the little 4 buttons there. And you can see the other workouts that we can track here. So indoor track, bike indoor, walk indoor, floor climbing, golf, skiing, snowboarding, cross-country skiing, SUP. Is that rowing? Stand-up rowing? Stand-up paddleboard? Yeah, okay, I think that's what that looks like. We have strength, cardio, yoga, Pilates, breath work, elliptical, stair-stepper, row, and row indoor. And we can even add some more. So if you want to add some more, you're going to need to get the Garmin Connect app. And for those of you that are wondering, that is where I got this watch face. So the Garmin Connect IQ app is where you're going to get other watch faces. Also, you can adjust what it shows you here on the workout. So we'll talk more about that in a future video when I talk about the software on these watches. But for now, let me just mention that as far as battery life goes, I do think that getting 8 days is going to be really difficult. For sure, I'm thinking it's going to be very similar to my Vivoactive 3 Music because so far in just the 1 day that I've used it, it's been acting very similar. I would say slightly less battery than what I get here on my 245 Music on average. But again, this is only the first day I've been using it. But so far, I will say I really like the Vivoactive 4 in comparison to my Vivoactive 3 Music because of 2 things. So if you're thinking about upgrading, one thing that's nice is the larger watch face that you get versus the Vivoactive 3 Music. So if that's something you want, that's definitely an upgrade here. And then also that second button, so that's going to make it easy to do split. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you that real quick. So we're going to go ahead and go into run, and we're not going to wait for GPS. We're just going to go ahead and start the workout. And you can see that this button here is going to give us our lap splits. So that was not available because the original Vivoactive 3 Music just had that single button, and it was kind of a mushy button, to be honest with you. It didn't have a very good tactile feel, whereas this one you can actually feel it, and it vibrates every time you push it, especially on these laps. And then when you want to stop the workout, you can go ahead and hit stop, and then up here we're just going to go ahead and hit discard because I don't actually want to keep that one. And we're going to get rid of it. So that is a quick first look at the Garmin Vivoactive 4 and 4 Music. So let me know what you guys have questions about these watches, because I'd love to answer those for you, because I'm going to be using these heavily over the next 2 to 3 weeks, especially the Garmin Vivoactive 4, and probably won't be wearing the 4S but they're basically the exact same watch. So again, leave me comments down below. Let me know what kind of questions you guys have about these watches. Hopefully I can answer them for you. And again, check out the folks over at Play Better and support them for supporting this channel. Thanks for watching. Hope this video has been helpful for you, and I will see you all in the next one.